Forget superheroes and capes. These are real people with powers so strange. Even science can't explain them. One man eats metal like it's popcorn. Another hasn't slept in over 50 years. And one teenage girl survived a 10,000-foot fall alone, deep in the Amazon jungle. From magnetic skin to a real-life rubber boy who bends like he's made of liquid, these 10 unbelievable superhumans will make you question what's truly possible. And stay till the end, because number 7 will leave you absolutely speechless. Do you know this man is a real magnet man? Meet Lu Thao, Lin, the man who could stick spoons, phones, even frying pans to his chest. People believed he had real magnetic powers, but scientists tested him and found zero magnetism. So, what's the truth? His skin is just super sticky. Friction, smoothness, and sweat. That's the secret. Still, he once carried over 80 pounds of metal on his body. Real superpower? Or just a freaky skill? You decide. In 1971, Juliane Koepcke was flying over the Amazon rainforest when her plane was struck by lightning. She fell over 10,000 feet, still strapped to her seat. She woke up alone, in the middle of the jungle, with a broken collarbone, deep cuts, and one shoe. But she didn't give up. Juliane survived 11 days in the wild, battling infections, insects, and hunger before finally finding help. She followed a stream, just like her father taught her, until she found a logging camp. The only survivor of a crash that killed 91 people, she lived to tell the tale. And the craziest part, her story almost didn't make it out. You think Popeye is just a cartoon? Think again. Meet Frank Rocky Fiegel, the real-life inspiration behind Popeye. Born in 1868, Rocky lived in Chester, Illinois, known for his rough demeanor and ability to outbrawl anyone. He had that signature squinty, tough guy look, just like the cartoon Popeye. Most of his life was spent in a local tavern, drinking and fighting. He was known as the toughest guy in town. In his later years, Rocky lived quietly, but his reputation as the strongest man never faded. He passed away in 1947, but his legacy lived on in the sailor we all know as Popeye. So, next time you watch Popeye, remember Frank Rocky Fiegel, the real-life sailor who inspired it all. He looked like the Hulk, but was just 8 years old. No gym, no steroids, just insane muscle. This isn't a Marvel movie, it's a real kid. This isn't CGI. This kid looked like a human action figure. Meet Richard Sandrak, dubbed Little Hercules. At just 6 years old, he was bench pressing over 180 pounds. By age 8, his body was so ripped, people accused his parents of steroids or torture. But here's the twist, he barely worked out. His father was obsessed. Richard says the muscles came from strict diet, stretching, and light training. But when his father went to jail for hurting his mom, Richard quit everything. Now, he's just a normal guy, no muscles, no fame, just living life. Was it discipline or child abuse? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
This man climbed the deadliest mountain on Earth, completely alone, with no oxygen. In 1980, Reinhold Messner set out to do the impossible. Most Everest climbers rely on oxygen tanks to survive the death zone, where your brain starts to shut down, and every breath feels like drowning. But Messner? He took no guide, no team, and zero oxygen. Everyone thought he'd die. For days, he battled avalanches, altitude sickness, and freezing winds. Until finally, after 3 death-defying days, he reached the summit, alone, unassisted, and made history. No one believed he could survive. Today, it's still called the boldest Everest climb in history. Would you risk your life to stand above the world?
You won't believe what this man had for dinner, an actual airplane. Meet Michel Lotito, a Frenchman known as Monsieur Mange-Tout, which literally means Mr. Eat-All. He suffered from a rare disorder called pica, which made him crave metal, glass, and even rubber. Between 1978 and 1980, he did the impossible, eating an entire Cessna airplane, piece by piece. He broke it down, swallowed bolts, wires, and sheet metal, and washed it all down with mineral oil. Doctors discovered his stomach lining was unusually thick, making him practically indestructible inside. So, next time someone says they're starving, just show them this guy. What if I told you? This man hasn't slept for over 40 years. Vietnamese farmer Thai Ngoc claimed he stopped sleeping in 1973 after a fever. Since then, no naps, no sleep, nothing. He says he feels fine, works daily, and doctors? They couldn't explain it. His brain scans showed nothing unusual. Is he a medical mystery or hiding the truth? What do you believe? Do you know this real-life Rapunzel? Her name is Zhi Kuping from China, and she holds the world record for the longest hair over 18 feet long. She started growing it in 1973 and never stopped. Washing and drying it takes hours. But she says it's her pride. Imagine carrying that much hair every single day.
Do you know this man? He's been living inside an airplane for over 20 years. And no, it didn't crash. He bought it, and turned it into a home. Meet Bruce Campbell, an engineer who transformed a retired jet into his full-time house. He showers, eats, sleeps, and even works inside this plane, surrounded by nature. He says old planes should never be scrapped, they're high-tech shelters just waiting to be reimagined. And now, he wants to inspire others to live in aircraft too, and start a plane home movement. Would you ever live in an airplane like this? Comment below.
This man can fit inside a suitcase because he's made of rubber, literally. His name is Daniel Browning Smith, and he's not a cartoon character, he's real. Born with an extreme case of hypermobility, Daniel can twist, bend, and fold his body in ways doctors didn't even think were possible. He's so flexible. He once dislocated his shoulders to squeeze through a tennis racket. Daniel holds 7 Guinness World Records and has even been called the most flexible man alive. From unbreakable bodies to inhuman flexibility, these aren't just stories. They're real people living among us. So which one shocked you the most? Tell us in the comments, and if you know someone with a hidden superpower, we want to hear it. Subscribe for more true stories that blur the line between fact and the impossible. Because the world is stranger than you think.